Now,
All right.
we're live right dang now, boy. All right, let me tweet all this stuff out.
Like as your beard gets longer, you're starting to look like an old sea captain. No, old cap.
An old cat. What did you just call me?
Oh, like an old sea captain. We gotta give you a sea captain nickname.
Yeah, dude. Okay, let's go into all of our streams real quick, and we'll begin the podcast.
I'm gonna call you. I'm thinking of old captain name for you real quick.
Captain Seabass.
Nah, it'll be old. No, it ain't gonna be captain anything. It's gonna be like old catfish or something. I don't know. What I'm doing is I'm looking at your beard and I'm thinking of something.
Oh yeah, are you? All right, that's good. All right, just do Kojima. Kojima Productions. Okay, podcast. What are you doing?
Oh, Captain One-Eyed Bass.
Are you still thinking? You've been thinking this entire time?
Oh, man.
You've been thinking this entire time?
This whole time. That's the best I can come up with.
Oh, my gosh. All right. I think we're good on that. Let me go to old Twitch.
There she blows.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Nah, we're good on Twitch.
Come on, man.
All right.
Sing. You mean sing for you? Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
No, look at that.
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
All right, Rumble. All right, we're good. All right, we're live. I'm Grant.
What?
Grant. I'm going to tweet out everything. You ready for that tweet?
Are you ready for that tweet?
Yeah, I'm ready for that tweet. I'm about to tweet now. Look at this.
I bet you won't.
Now.
I bet you won't tweet.
Live now.
I dare you.
Episode, what was it, 64?
God, see, look how unprepared you are. You don't even know. You just kind of just show up and blow away with the wind.
What?
What?
Live now, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 64.
Oh, One-Eyed Bass.
What do you call it?
Captain One-Eyed Bass.
One-Eyed Bass. Oh, damn.
I don't know, man.
Just call me one. Oh, my gosh. All right. Let me tweet this out, Grant. Show us a Rumble. And we're going to watch a trailer.
A trailer? That's going to demonetize us.
We'll get not monetized anyway. So
I know, but it's funny. As soon as this podcast is over, like within 5 minutes, we'll get a.
I know it's copyright.
We'll get a copyright.
I can't even submit my video without it saying copyright.
We'll get the old copyright email
every time. It's like I submit it. Copyright.
Look, man. This is what. Look what they did to my poster, man. Look at that.
Oh, that buddy. Look at that buddy dent you got in there.
That's fucking FedEx, man. I feel like what they did was they put that. It says fragile. Like it came. Like they packaged it well, and it says fragile.
Podcast.
But here's the thing: is like I don't know. Like we don't have like real FedEx here. It's like a hub, so it's like all contracted out. So these guys just wear whatever they want to work. They pull up bumping Chief Keef. It's like
yeah.
And so I guarantee they threw this thing on the truck and put like plasma TVs on top of it.
All right.
Looks like somebody threw it on the ground and did the Macarena on it. So it looks like.
All right, dude. I tweeted everything out. We're going to watch a trailer.
Let's
go over what we're going to talk about today.
Oh,
we got a big podcast today.
Preach to him.
Talk about.
Preach to him, One-Eyed Bass.
All right, we got gaming news. We're going to talk about some gaming news, some Ubisoft and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we're going to go into how video games shaped our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go into our Disgruntled Gamer rant. We'll talk about the subject later. And then we're going to go into how Kojima's consistent brilliance in gaming. That's one of our main that is our main topic for this podcast. And then we're going to go into the top 10 most iconic video game soundtracks of all time, our personal list. All right. Grant, ready to watch this trailer?
Let's do it.
I
You
haven't
sure you
seen
didn't
it
watch
yet.
it? You sure you ain't seen it?
I just found it like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, don't you lie to me.
What are you going to do if I did? Huh?
Take you to the gallows there.
Huh? Why did that go to a different tab? Oh, gosh. Okay.
What does that say? Pornhub?
What's up?
What?
All right. Here we go. Downloads. All right. This is called Lost Soul Aside. Lost Soul Aside is part of the Chinese or China Hero project that they've been pushing in gaming.
Here they go. They're moving the chess pieces to take over the American gaming industry.
All right, let me share it. Let me know when you see it. Let me know when you see it, Grant.
I see it. Oh God, it's
see it?
Yeah.
You good?
Oh yeah, no, it's
Is
fine.
it on
I
the
see
screen?
No, I see it. This got copyright written all over it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let's play it.
Go ahead. How hard is that? Look how good that looks. They're not
China. They're waxing every damn. Western game is fucked. It's fucked. I don't care. I'm cussing right now. They are fucked next year, and they're fucked going forward. Yep. China's about to just fucking sweep everyone, dude.
I know.
In gaming. That's what's going to happen. Because
our in the dirt.
Dumbass developers in the West can't get their shit together.
Cannot. They cannot.
The politics. I got to put my ideology in it. Instead of making a game that's appealing and has good gameplay. Man, I'm so tired of this shit.
And you know what's crazy is that those character designs weren't even like really outlandish. There was just they look like old Final Fantasy VIII.
A boy and girl love story.
Oh no.
In 2025?
Oh God.
Good Lord, man. Western developer, if they got a hold of that game and they made it, and someone would be something.
Yeah, it'd be scissoring.
Netflixed up. You know it. All right, let me stop sharing real quick. Here we go. Let me hide. Stop sharing. Okay. All right, Grant. That was Lost Soul Aside coming to everything next year. Well, besides Xbox, from the looks of it, and in 2025. It's going to immediately release on Steam and PS5. So what do you think?
I mean, it looks great.
Looks great, right?
The gameplay looks good. The graphics are great. The character design is great. I mean, but here's the thing is, you know what's crazy is they're pumping these things out like a factory.
I mean, nonstop, dude. They have something that I don't know, man. Like
maybe Tencent needs to buy Ubisoft.
Maybe so.
Are we saying it wrong? Because Asmongold was saying Ubisoft, like
Ubisoft, whatever. Ubisoft, whatever.
Are we saying it wrong? Are we the ones that are wrong?
Whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter now. Their name's probably going to change eventually because they're going to get bought out.
They got to at this point. Yeah. They're either going to get bought. Here's the thing: is they're either going to get bought out or they're going to get bankrupt.
One of those two things are going to happen.
Yeah.
In 2025, after Assassin's Creed Shadows fails.
This already failed, man. Like it's got so much bad pub and just been pushed back. Like I don't even think people even remember it's coming out anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think people already forgot about it.
All right. So let's start the podcast and we'll start getting into our subject material for the podcast. This is going to be, hopefully we can make this a long one, because next week
we are off.
Christmas holidays. We're not going to do any podcasts next week. We're going to start back the Tuesday after next on the 31st.
You hear that?
What?
You hear that noise?
What about
it's the sound of millions of Americans crying because we're not going to be here next week. You hear that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway. All right. So let's start it. Starting now.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Grant rolling here with the DMG Gaming Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Mr. Oh Holy Knight himself, my boy, Ed Phillips. What up, my boy? I had to change it. I wasn't going to call you the Chris Kringle.
You ruined the beginning. I'm going to have to edit it now. I want to have to edit the beginning of this podcast because you made a heavy breathing sound right at the beginning. No one heard the beginning of the
music. Take that out. I'll take that out. Nobody's going to hear that. I'll take that out. I changed it to Mr. Oh Holy Knight himself because I didn't want to call you the Chris Kringle of cholesterol.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't want to do that.
All right. Grant.
Yes.
Let's talk some gaming news.
Let's do it.
All right. Let me pull up our bookmarks and share my screen. All right. Let me know when you see my screen. Let me pull it up. All right, episode 57. This is a good one. All right, sharing screen now. All right, let me know when you see that.
I see Capital One. Oh,
what's
below
up?
It. Below
no.
It.
Stop looking at commercials.
Looking at the Capital One commercial.
All right, Sony becomes the largest shareholder in From Software parent company Kadokawa. No full takeover for now.
Now.
It's going that way.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's going that way. So it looks like
50 billion yen.
If anyone is wondering, Elden Ring and all that stuff, yeah, that's it right there. All right.
Sounds like a dark day. I don't want that to happen. See, a lot of these companies are better off with not being bought out. Because when they get bought out, what's going to happen is this is where the overinflation comes. And this is where all the DEI stuff starts coming in. It's going to happen. You say it's not. It's going to happen.
I don't like Sony's buying it now, honestly, dude. I don't like this because it's fine how it is. Now I see it being diluted, or I guess too many hands in the pie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On what to publish and content to publish, or what to develop. I just see too many hands in the pie.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, of course,
comes in.
They're not gonna buy this just to sit back and shut the fuck up. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. PlayStation's great and all that shit, but I did not want this to happen to Kadokawa, especially when it comes to Elden Ring and all that stuff. I don't think it's a good move.
But we say that. Well, we say that. But if somebody offered you $300-something million,
I get it, dude.
Here's the thing.
I get it. I understand money talks. Money revolves. It revolves around everything. Money is the thing. But as a development going forward and the studio going forward, I'm just not sure about it right now.
So let me ask you a question. Okay. So if somebody came to us and said, we'll pay you $300 million for us to buy out majority of your podcast.
That's stupid. Don't compare us to a gaming studio that has created masterpieces.
But that's everything, though. That goes with everything. Let's say you owned a gaming company and then somebody came to you and said, hey, we're giving you $300 million.
It's two people, us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course we would say yes for $300 million.
Okay. So, I mean, I can't blame them. I just hate it.
Tomorrow and was like, here's $300 million to be a gaming podcast on NPR. We would take it.
Damn right.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. And we have to dance around and sing the Lollipop Guild.
No, we would our contract would be reneged the next day. because we would have breached the terms of service
That's
with
fine.
our content.
As long as I'm cashing out very quickly.
As long as we get something, right?
Yep.
All right. But yeah, anyway, I don't know about this one. So let's continue on.
I don't like that. I don't like it. But I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
All right, Grant. This is one that you thought was funny earlier.
This was good. This was sad, man. It's funny, but it's sad.
So Charlotte Hornets NBA team gives a kid a PS5. This is messed up.
It is.
A kid a PS5 for a halftime skit, then they take it back off camera.
But here's the thing, though. This is what I wanted to know. Was the kid in on it? Like, did the kid know he wasn't getting this?
Ahead of time is like, did they give him a PS5 later? You know what I mean? Or was that just a prop PS5 box?
Man, dude, I don't know, man. Because like, I guess my question is like, does this kid already have a PS5? He was like, "Hey, kid, we want to hire you for this skit." You know,
was he like an actor or something? Yeah.
Because if not,
I don't know, man.
If not, they're gonna have to get that man 2 PS5s now.
Yeah, but it is kind of funny.
It is kind of messed up.
Messed up and funny.
I wish they would have had the video of them taking it away.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We were talking about Ubisoft earlier. No, cancel. I don't want that. Here we go. All right. Ubisoft. Oh boy.
Here it comes.
Oh boy, Ubisoft. More Ubisoft news. Yay. All right. Ubisoft financial turmoil points towards imminent bankruptcy in 2025, next year. They're done.
It's done.
They're done.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to get bought out by probably, I would assume, Tencent from the looks of it.
They should. Let's go ahead and sell to them.
Sell to them and fire everybody.
I mean, the rumors are they're arguing amongst themselves because they don't want to. Well, you don't have a choice. Either
fire management, everything. Clean house.
It's like we said,
time to clean house, Ubisoft.
They're going to give you, I mean, they're not going to give you billions.
Yeah.
Like that was probably like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But they'll probably give you hundreds of millions. Take it. Because if you don't take that, then you're not going to be worth anything.
Yep. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Okay. Grant, Tifa mods.
Boy, these what they call them, Gooners? Is that what they call them? The Gooners squad?
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna just stop sharing, but we'll talk about the Tifa mods. All right, Grant. So Square Enix came out and said, please do not use mods on Final Fantasy VII. Especially
you know what Tifa. That was like doing? That was like screaming into the wind.
Yeah, that's like, well, everyone's already got mods out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're working on them, and they are going to publish them.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell someone not to make a mod, especially one that involves Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. It's not going to work out.
No, it's not going to. It's man, it's going to be a lot of things all over the internet.
Yeah, so Tifa mods, sorry, Square Enix, they're coming.
Yeah.
And they're imminent.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Grant, that is all of our news today.
It's kind of a slow month, honestly.
Kind of. Except for all the Eastern devs pushing out trailers. All right. Grant, our next subject. Let's just talk. This is going to be a quick one. It should be a quick one. How video games shaped our friendship. If everyone wants to go back to our original podcast, our first podcast ever made on our YouTube or Spotify, Apple, whatever, to know who we are and where we come from, go check that one out. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how we explain who we are, how we met, and how long we've been friends and everything like that. But to recap, how we met was in the 8th grade through a friend because we both had the same interest in Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy series. We're big RPG nerds. And so my first day of meeting Grant in 8th grade, I actually bullied him because he had shampoo in his hair that he did not wash out fully.
I know.
So I bullied him, and then we became friends immediately after that.
But you know what? I was on the joke squad. I had skin of steel.
He had skin of steel. So yeah, you were on the joke squad.
You couldn't take me down.
But we've always talked about doing something like this. even though it wasn't like specifically a podcast.
Yeah.
But something similar to this. And I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. Didn't have time to do it. Grant didn't really have time to do it either. Until recently I retired and we kind of found the time to do this. But we've always been gamers our entire lives.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah, my entire life. My first game was Legend of Zelda. Well, I mean, I played some Atari games, but my first game I ever owned was the original Legend of Zelda on the NES. But yeah, that's kind of how we developed our friendship.
We bonded over RPGs because we were the only two that loved RPGs. Like everybody else we knew was like on. Well, it wasn't really Madden then. It was, well, I guess it was, but it was like, what was it? NFL Game Day and all that stuff. NBA Live. Everybody liked sports games and stuff like that. And the first person shooter stuff wasn't really just out then. So, but I always loved RPGs, and Ed was the only one I could talk about Final Fantasy VII with. Well, I guess there was other people I probably could, but then I'd probably get beat up for real. Because like, here's the thing is like, you would never know that we were like, and this is true. Like you would have never known that we loved RPG games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, cause Ed was on varsity basketball, had all the women. I played baseball and stuff like that, but dude, like we were the only ones that like loved RPGs and like, and we just bonded over it. We would always talk about, Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and the new games that are coming out. And they'd be like, hey man, do you remember they were talking about Final Fantasy VII remake like in 2001? You remember that? It was like a long time.
I remember that. They talked about that for a long time.
I know. They had like that one image, but it was like, it doesn't even look, you know what I mean?
But we also played, I remember we used to sneak in my mom's office and play Mud. Those Mud games, those text-based games.
Yes.
Yeah, they were called Muds.
Yeah.
And we would play those like all night.
Yeah, sure did.
We just go by Hardee's or someplace, get some food, and go play some Muds.
Where you get that Phillips special.
Yep, that spicy chicken, 99 cents. Now it's like probably $6.
That's crazy, man. To think about, man, because we would go, especially in the summertime, man. Like we would stay up to like 5 a.m. We did the same thing for the whole summer. We would go play basketball for hours.
Yep.
And then we would go play video games till like 5 a.m. The thing about it is I think about that now. At this age, that's tired.
I can't last.
Like at 10 o'clock, I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to fall asleep.
All right, but that's kind of how we met.
Yeah,
and how we became friends and all that stuff.
He said all that just to say that he appreciates me very much. I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
I didn't mean that at all. What are you talking about?
That's what it sounded like. We're just going to translate it.
Nope.
If I was to translate into another language, that's what it would say.
Nope. All right. All right, Grant. Actually, before we do Kojima, I say we talk about our Disgruntled Gamer rant.
Oh, okay.
Let me pull it up.
What hunk of shit are we going to talk about today? Yuck.
Today's Disgruntled Gamer segment or rant is Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero.
You know, I didn't play this one. I played the one on Nintendo 64. It was way worse.
Same thing, dude.
Yeah, it was awful. So we're going to talk about this game. So Midway, they thought they were going to take a chance and they're going to make a single-player Mortal Kombat game. So it looked like a Mortal Kombat game with the way it looked and the fighting style and stuff like that. But what they didn't realize was the controllers were going to be shit. So let me tell you what I remember about this game. I remember this game. So they tried to make it like an RPG game, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
So you had to like get experience points. So you didn't start. First of all, you didn't start with the. So this is Sub-Zero, right? He's the ninja, correct? But you didn't start with the ice bolt. You didn't start with the slide. You didn't start with any of his moves. So how the hell was he Sub-Zero if he didn't have any of his moves?
Yeah.
That didn't make sense. So then you got items and stuff like that. So you can run. So this is when they took like Mortal Kombat 3 and they added those elements to it, like the run and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But what they didn't realize was you can like outrun the camera. And I remember specifically having to like, you remember like in Mortal, like the game, like when you would jump over your opponent, you would immediately turn around. Remember that?
This was the directional pad issue.
Yeah.
With
you had to hit a button. You had to hit a button to turn around.
I forget which one it was, but you had to you had to turn him around.
Yeah, you had to hit. You had to hit
so
B.
Annoying.
I remember that. You had to hit B to turn him around.
Yeah, it was so annoying.
And if you had like 4 guys on you, yeah, you were toast. Yeah. You were getting beat.
But there was no point in the game.
No, it was dumb. They thought. Here's the thing. This is what I guarantee. This is what they had.
Half-assed told a story, his history, like very half-assedly, and it was just like, and it was hard, and it wasn't enjoyable. So it was hard. There was no point in the game. There was nothing to like look forward to, and that's it.
So
and it was just complete trash.
The hitbox was garbage. First of all, the hitbox was terrible. So I remember that one room that had like the big pillars that went up and down. They would smash you. Like, so the thing about it is like, so they didn't have the timer set up right. Like if they even touched you in any way, shape, or form, it would smash you. So you couldn't walk through it because those things went at 0.1 seconds. That's how fast they moved. And you couldn't run through them because if you run through them, you didn't stop on the dime. You would keep going a little bit. So you would run through. So if you try to like run in between them, you would still run into the other path of the other one and it would smash you.
Well, the bosses were hard. The story was half-assed. The controls sucked. And the graphics were, I mean, like the N64 version didn't even have the, cutscenes. Really.
Oh no, it was all still shots. Garbage. Yeah.
This game was probably, I would say, the worst Mortal Kombat game.
So there were also this is when Midway was on its way down before they found a reemergence because this is the time you could tell they were just because Mortal Kombat 3, I didn't like it. I didn't like Mortal Kombat 3. A lot of people like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like all the combos and all the running and all this other stuff. Like Mortal Kombat 2 was my bread and butter, like that. You know what I mean?
That was great.
But then what did they do? They made Mortal Kombat anthologies. And then that's the one with all of them, And then they made Mortal Kombat Gold and all this other stuff. So they're running out of, they didn't have no ideas, right? And then Mortal Kombat 4 was just garbage. So what they were trying to do is they were hoping this was going to be a success. And I guarantee what they would have done is you would have saw Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Liu Kang, Mortal Kombat Mythologies. They would have wrote this thing out with every single character.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So thank God it sucked because we would have got garbage.
Yeah. And this was shortly after. Was this after the first movie?
No, it probably was not. I don't think so because I remember living in
Struggle. What Mortal Kombat came out then the first movie dropped? What was the most recent one close to the first movie?
Probably either man. I think it was after the first one, obviously, but I think it was before the second one. I'll tell you. Hold on, I'll tell you. I got this thing called a computer.
Because Midway really went through
Just keep talking. I'll find it for you.
Yeah. Well, it was the second movie too that was a complete flop. I know that was way after this.
Oh my God, that was garbage.
Yeah. So the second movie really flopped, and I mean that was just tumbling free fall for the Mortal Kombat series.
Yeah. So the game, Mortal Kombat 2, came out in 1993.
Okay.
And the original movie came out in 95. Okay. So this was before Mortal Kombat 3, the game.
Okay.
After Mortal Kombat 2.
All right. Yeah. Anyway.
Which didn't seem right. I could have swore I didn't think that, but hey.
Yeah, I didn't think that either. That's kind of
weird.
But anyway, Mortal Kombat Mythologies.
Garbage. Like I remember you trying to run and then like you're waiting for the screen to catch, like you're running up against the screen and it's dumb. I hated that game.
Yeah, it's really bad. Okay, Grant. That's our Disgruntled Gamer Rant segment for this trash game.
Ugh.
All right, let's remove that. All right, Grant.
Oh, you know what else was terrible? Hold on real quick. You know what else was terrible about that game? You had to use up to jump. Up was jump. And then you had to use up. So if you're using your joypad and you wanted to go back, but you accidentally hit up, then you're jumping off the cliff.
Yeah, that's true. Grant. before we get in our top 10, let's talk about our main subject of the day. Our main subject, and that is Hideo Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
And our main subject is the continued brilliance of Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to kind of go through, not really his timeline, I guess, but we're going to go through some of his early games, and then where he rose up to pretty much being able to put just his name on a game, and you knew it was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go through a few things. All right, Kojima was born on August 24th, 1963 in Setagaya, Tokyo, in Japan. Let me pull up an image real quick.
Did you go pull up a map of Tokyo?
What's that?
You go pull up a map of Tokyo?
No, I'm just going to pull him up. Why would I pull up a map of Tokyo?
I don't know, because you sounded like because you said he was born in Tokyo.
Oh, you thought I was about to go with my experience in Japan, huh?
I thought you were about to get real technical with me. I didn't know how the story was going to go.
Yeah, I did spend 6 years in Japan.
You did. I thought you were about to give me like a timeline, like a whole.
I'm not going through his entire history, dude.
I was about to play some music in the background.
Like 3 hours.
Get some background music.
No background music. All right, but let's talk his early life when he worked at Konami on the MSX. He worked on games for the MSX. You remember the MSX?
Yep.
Let's pull up a picture of that. This was, let's see, MSX. Here it is. Well, this is an X2. Let me pull up the actual one. Here it is. So this was an MSX. This was before the NES, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right before the NES.
This was in the void of. This was in the void of trying to find something that worked. This is what that was.
But it was okay. It was more of a computer, entertainment system. I guess
they always did it right. They did it right in Japan between the Atari and NES because we kept coming out with Pong consoles. That's what we did. That's what America did. Like they were coming out with like actual computer consoles.
But this is one of the first games he ever worked on, Penguin Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny about this game is that it actually has, for the time, it actually has pretty in-depth RPG mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Like this game. Back before we even knew what RPG mechanics were in video games. This one actually had it. And this is one of the main games he worked on. One of his first games he worked on. And then in 1987, he started working on the game that everyone knows about, Metal Gear. Or the series everyone knows about is Metal Gear Solid.
That thing's got 1 megabit of ROM.
It was Metal Gear back then. So let me share this real quick. All right. So Metal Gear, he was asked from his work at the MSX, and all that stuff. He started to get his name known, and then they hired him on as a lead for Metal Gear and other projects concerning this. And he also worked on, I think what was it? In 1988, Snatcher. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Snatcher was it was kind of like Blade Runner. It was a cyberpunk game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll pull up a picture of that too. But it was a cyberpunk game back then. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, old school animation, dude. But anyway, so he worked on Snatcher, which was it was a cyberpunk theme, and he did Metal Gear 2 also. This was between 90 and 94, and he did Police Knots. Now, this is before he was, big time. Like, before his name was known, when he could slap his name on a game and everyone was like, oh, I'm buying that.
I want to say something real quick. Go back to that one picture. Go back to that picture of Metal Gear.
This one?
I was trying to send it to you so you can pull it up. So, look at that cover. Who is that on that cover?
That's Mel Gibson, dude.
It's not Mel Gibson. That's Kyle Reese from Terminator.
What?
That's Kyle Reese from Terminator. That's the same pose. It's the same pose from Terminator.
All right, I'm going to tell you something here. All right, if you look at the character, like the actual characters in Metal Gear, and you look at their cartoon pictures within the game, they are almost exact, I'd say, real face, of course, animated faces of real actors. There's one guy in Metal Gear that's actually looks like Sean Connery. Like click that
just
link. Like him.
Click that link I sent you. So you can pull it up. You could pull it up and then scroll down a little bit. It's the side by side. It's an exact copy, like it's from Terminator. Is where they took that from.
Yeah. It's pretty close. All right. Anyway, so let's go into this. All right. So Metal Gear Solid was, or just Metal Gear at the time, was really good, and then he came Solid Snake. Now, Solid Snake, what Kojima's, I guess, what is it? Who he formed Solid Snake after was pretty obvious. You ever seen those escape movies, right?
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell.
Escape from LA. Yep.
Yeah. Just like him. I mean, he literally almost looks just like him. So that's kind of where he got the Solid Snake design from. What was his name? Snake Plissken from Escape from like LA and all that stuff from Kurt Russell. Looks pretty much almost accurate. But that's where
How did they not get sued
the
for
idea
that,
from.
How did they not get sued for that cover? I mean, that's literally, they took that from Terminator.
No. So anyway, this was Metal Gear Solid 2 and Police Knots. Let me pull up Police Knots right now. Police Knots. Here it is. This is great. This is another cyberpunk game. So anyway, he was known for this. Dude, you remember the Zone of the Enders?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yep. RPG? Like kind of robot RPG? Yep. That was really good. But he also designed that. But anyway, so we had Metal Gear Solid 2 2 and Police Knots. Now, when he started to become big was between 94 and 2012. This is his money-making years. This is where you would get your mainline Metal Gears that we know. You know, like Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Metal Gear Solid was probably the one that shot him into the stratosphere.
Yeah, it got his name known. So let's go to Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation. So when he first made the first Metal Gear, the MSX could not hold, like, it was very, I guess, narrow what the capabilities was, like when it came to doing combat on the screen. So he decided to do more of a tactical type combat, and this is where it came from. Like, kind of due to the limitations of the MSX, this is where he made the game into more of a tactical espionage. And then we got into like the mainline Metal Gear Solid starting in the mid 90s. And this is where it really put Kojima on the map, where he could put his name on games. And you knew with his name on a game, now that is a game I'm going to buy. And going forward, he did the same thing.
I remember when this game came out, it was always between, everybody was like, which is the better game, this or Siphon Filter?
Yeah. I was always Metal Gear, dude. I love these games. Sons of Liberty was great. Then you went on to Metal Gear 3. Snake Eater. I think this is one they're remaking, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, this is one they're remaking. This was a great one. And then this one, he actually, the next one, Metal Gear Solid 4, was actually, I think he got death threats over this one, the Guns of the Patriots. He got death threats over it due to the setting and everything like it that was in the game. His life was threatened through this, and his response was, "I'm going to continue making Metal Gear Solid games."
Yeah. Why were they trying to threaten his life?
I think it's because of the country that it was in. Like,
I see.
Yeah, and individuals from this specific country threatened his life because of the light he portrayed them in. But it's a video game, dude.
Yeah.
You know? And then we go into Metal Gear Solid 5. Phantom Pain. This is one of my favorite games of all time.
It's a good game.
This game was fantastic. But anyway, you also have, I think we skipped one, but it was Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That game was just crazy, dude. You ever played that game?
Yeah.
Here, let me pull up a picture of it. This game, dude, insane. Like the combat in it, dude, is just way over the top. The characters are way over the top. Great game though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he made his name through a lot of things when it came to Metal Gear and how he designed his games. But to me, like the thing that really put him over the top was Phantom Pain. I mean, I'm not trying to disregard like all his other ones before that because they were all fantastic. But to really cement his legacy, Phantom Pain, I think, was it. And then he goes on later, a few years after that, to go into Death Stranding.
That's when he started getting into like using like real celebrities.
Yeah, real celebrities, motion capture, all that. But just an insanely beautiful game.
It's
Like everything about it.
It's I don't know how I feel about Death Stranding. It wasn't it was a good looking game. It was just so confusing. Like it's just weird to me. Like I don't know. You have to. It wasn't my game.
So it's very slow at the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's sluggish and it's
very beautiful game at the beginning, but it's very slow. You just have to play it a little bit longer because you're escorting certain like supplies and stuff through this kind of, I want to say wasteland, but you're escorting and these shadow things come after you, but it's very slow at the beginning. It eventually picks up though, and it becomes legit. Well, they have Death Stranding 2 here that he's working on currently coming out here. I think it's called On the Beach or something like that. Here, let me pull it up.
On the Beach.
On the Beach.
And this could be Death Stranding 3, On the Moon.
On the Moon. But no, this is his next project that he's currently working on. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I tell you what, I've never seen a character like Norman Reedus ride the Daryl Dixon fame for as long as you're talking about. Well, maybe Luke Skywalker, because I mean he just looks like that one.
He has a series out right now called
That's what I'm saying.
Walking Dead Daryl Dixon.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like you remember he was like this old redneck meth guy. Him and his brother were like the meth.
Well, see, that's the thing. His character got popular, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like you would never thought, like, because this is when I first saw him and I was like, man, that's the guy from Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. Yep. That's the only thing I didn't know him from anything else. I didn't watch any of his other movies. I just knew him from the Boondock Saints. But his character got then him and his brother showed up on the Walking Dead, and they're all like looking for meth and crack and just the drug addicts and stuff like that. But he was badass because he's the only one that had a crossbow.
Yeah. But anyway, so to kind of not wrap it up, dude, you remember the Famicom disc system?
The Famicom disc system? No.
Yeah, it was before the Nintendo. It was something they did with, it was a computer, it had the floppy disk or whatever like that. Here, let me show you. This is the Famicom computer disc system.
Yeah,
this
I
was
remember
during
saying
the
that.
MSX time. It wasn't, it was kind of, I would say, I mean, it did fail, but like eventually the actual NES came out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, what they went with from there.
We had a Tandy 1000. That's the only thing I remember. Tandy 1000 playing King's Quest.
Yeah. And then the MXX or the MSX2 came out shortly in like the mid 80s. Let me show you that one. This one, I didn't know they made a second one. I knew about the first one. Here, let me see if I can find it. MXX2. Here it is. It looks almost just like the first one. I mean, that was it. Personal computer entertainment system.
But they probably did. They did it way better. If that would have came out in America, first of all, the thing would have been made out of wood because that's what they all were, and then it would have had like Pong.
Oh, that wood grain.
Yeah, they all had wood grain.
Yeah,
everything had wood grain then.
Yep. Dude, the games that came out on these systems, like the MSX, the artwork was fantastic. I don't think I pulled any for it, but like that old school 80s fantasy artwork, like we talked about on the last podcast.
They had original games, man.
They had fantastic artwork for their games, for the MSX games.
I mean, you gotta think about this. Like when they came out in Japan, like they had all their games were original. Like this is what killed the video games in America in the 80s, was because every time like ColecoVision and all these other things came out, they had like so many like Space Invaders games. It's the same game, just to call it Star Invader. You know what I mean? And then they had like 6 versions of Pitfall and Centipede and Millipede and Pac-Man and all this other thing. And it was just the same things. Like every system had the same games. That's what killed it.
So after Snatcher, he came out with this SD Snatcher, which was your chibi version of it.
Chibi, yeah.
Yeah. And he came up with this one. I think this was on the MSX2. So but anyway, so Kojima, when we think of Kojima now, like if I'm seeing a game that's coming out and it has Kojima's name on it, I'm getting it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, think about the brilliance of him, of the Metal Gears, and like even some of the games like off-brand stuff away from the Metal Gears. I mean, like the dude's a genius, and and he posts a lot, like him working on Death Stranding too.
Yeah,
like everything they kind of post some of the motion capture and like how he does certain things, and he's playing games on I would say a console that he has covered up, so people don't know what he's playing.
But he's also extremely hands-on. Like you don't see people of his stature probably not as hands-on anymore. They probably have underlings.
He was involved with the Silent Hill too, like Silent Hill projects. Yeah. He was involved in that,
of course,
and many other things. But like Kojima, dude, like
he took horror to he took the
Zone of Enders was great. I really liked those games. And horror, yeah. And
he took the survival horror to the next level with Silent Hill, man, because that was crazy.
He has one coming out that he's also in developed called I forget what it's called, like OD or something like that. That's all it's called, OD, like the letters OD.
Uh-oh.
I think that might be the project name, but it is going to be a horror game that he's working on too. That's in development.
Over Death.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Let me go through some of these games he's made. Let's go down the list. All right, so we already talked about Penguin's Adventure, and 87 Metal Gear, 88 Snatcher, 90 Metal Gear Solid 2, or excuse me, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, 94. No, actually, that same year, 90, he made a SD Snatcher. He was the writer for that. 94 Police Knots, 97. He did some memorial drama series called Tokimeki. He did that in 2 years in a row. Then he did Metal Gear Solid. He did 98 to 2002. He was the Beatmania console ports. Then in 99, he did Tokimeki again, another volume 3. And he did more Beatmania stuff in the early 2000s. 2000, he also had Metal Gear Ghost Babel. 2001, Zone of Enders. Those were great. And then Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty in 2001. 2003, Boktai, The Sun Is in Your Hand. He was a producer and game designer for that. Then Zone of Enders, the second runner. 2004, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Boktai 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. 2005, Shin Bakura no Tayo. I don't know what game that is. Metal Gear Acid 2, Lunar Nights, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. Then he went into Super Smash Brothers. He was a stage designer for that. I mean, golly. And then
Can you imagine if a game, if he would have teamed up with Akira Toriyama?
Dude. Then he did Metal Gear Solid Mobile Supervisor, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, director, producer, game designer, and writer for that. Metal Gear Online, 12 Tender Killers. Let's see.
Metal Gear Online.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Touch, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker in 2010. He worked on Castlevania Lords of Shadows. I actually wanted to talk about that earlier.
Yeah,
but he was part of that. He was the executive producer for that. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance in 2013. 2014, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes. Director, producer, game designer, writer. 2015, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And then it goes on 2019, Death Stranding, and then currently 2025, Death Stranding 2. I mean, the dude is a legend.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Of course.
The guy's a legend. If I see his name on a game, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And that's all it comes down to. I will be playing Death Stranding 2. and Snake, the revamp of Snake Eater 2. I'll be playing that, and whatever game he's going to come out with next after Death Stranding 2, I'm probably going to buy it. That's all there is to it.
He might walk off into the sunset. He might say, "This is all I got. I'm done."
One of these years he might, but I hope he doesn't. At least not for at least another 10 years. We need another legit Metal Gear.
You know what, though? You know what? Midway should have did that after Mortal Kombat 2. Instead, they came out with Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
So this is what happens. Sometimes you stay in the game a little too long. And then you start throwing a junk. What they say is a pitcher. It's like when you're a pitcher, you know?
What is your favorite Kojima game?
Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
Like
Easily.
The first one, or
it's my favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid was good. I got to go with Phantom Pain. I love Phantom Pain, man. I played that game so much.
Like I'm not like a huge one of those, like, it's different for you because you've been in the tactical warfare, so you like all the tactical stuff. Like I'm not much of a tactical guy, but like I thought Metal Gear Solid and Siphon Filter at that time was cool because you can actually like hide and sneak and you know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was good.
Phantom Pain was great because of more of the coordination with like your outside elements that are part of your team. You know, like you had Quiet as your sniper too. You could call in support. And you yourself could snipe far away. It was just so cool, dude. Such a great game. But yeah, I'd say Phantom Pain is mine. I did like Zone of the Enders. I thought those were cool RPGs back then. And Death Stranding, I do like Death Stranding.
Silent Hill.
It took me a while. Yeah, Silent Hill, of course. But Death Stranding just took me a while to get into. But I did like it. I ended up really enjoying the game towards the end.
Silent Hill was iconic because at that time, survival horror was still fairly new, you know, or newish, I should say.
Yeah.
But he took it to a whole different level because, like in Resident Evil, you knew you'd find bullets, and you knew that you would go. And the zombies were probably in a room, or maybe not. And Silent Hill, he took the horror to a different level. It was, you saw the monsters that. Nowadays, it probably wouldn't be as scary, you know, because you've seen just about everything you But then, the way that you remember how the monsters like moved and stuff, how they just had that weird movement.
Oh yeah, it was freaky.
Yeah, it was freaky. You know what I'm saying? Like today, it's probably not as freaky as it would because you've probably seen so much more stuff. But like knowing that you have like a flashlight, you have like that bat with the nail in it, you have like your gun has like 3 bullets, whatever. Basically, you know what I mean? And it was just weird. The pyramid head guy. What is it, a pyramid head or whatever he's called? Pyramid face. I don't know what his name is. But yeah, man, it was incredible.
Yep. But yeah, big salute to this dude.
Oh yeah.
He really. I mean, at the same time, with all these game releases too, we talk about many of them, but like those games redefined, I would say, the genre that they were in, and they also help, I guess, influence a lot of games going forward too. Because I mean, the Metal Gear series is just fantastic.
They should cast you in the next Metal Gear.
They should.
I'm gonna hit him up and tell him I got somebody for him.
You got somebody?
Yeah, I'm telling.
Good. Might be perfect motion capture, dude. You know how many people buy that game?
Oh shit!
With that beard?
Oh man. They're gonna tell you to shave your beard. You're like, no.
I wouldn't do it then.
You're gonna lose all your powers.
Yeah. My beard powers. All right, but yeah, all right. Kojima, the legend.
And it would be the worst game. And it'd be the worst game you ever made if it had you on there.
Oh no, it would be the best.
It'd be terrible.
Be the best. Be the best, Grant. But yeah, dude, such an icon in the gaming world. All right. Now
Shadow,
let's move
what up,
on.
man? Metal Gear is life.
Metal Gear is life. All right, you guys. Let's see.
Hey, hold on, I forgot to ask you, and you didn't mention at the beginning. Are we voting?
We are voting.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
We are voting in the Real Game Awards.
The Real Game Awards.
End of the podcast, but first we need to do our top 10.
No, that's okay. You just didn't mention it.
How about you just, hold your horses there, buddy?
How about you just shut your mouth?
I mean, listen, I got it. Hey, I got the program for this podcast, buddy.
Do I need to take over?
You just sit there and just, stare at your computer screen and pretend like you're Googling something. All right. What? We know you're not doing anything right now. So let's do this.
You don't know. I know. You don't see my hands. You have no idea what I'm doing. You have no idea what I'm doing. You don't see my hands.
Yeah, you're not doing anything. I mean, just be real. Top 10, Grant. Top 10 most iconic soundtracks from games of all time.
All right.
So let's pull this up. All right. Yeah. Most iconic video game soundtracks of all time. Your personal list. So you go ahead and start with your number 10.
Leading off. I'm the Kenny Lofton of this podcast, so let me lead off.
Just go ahead. Go ahead.
My number 10, I have no honorable mentions, but my number 10 is Donkey Kong Country.
All right. It's a pretty good one.
It's a good one. So when this game came out, it was, at the time, this was like the best graphics that Super Nintendo had. Like graphics wise,
it was really good graphics.
No, they're fantastic.
Yeah,
like these graphics still hold up. You know what I mean? Compared to some other games.
Yeah.
I remember the aquarium theme or whatever. It was like one of the most famous ones on there. The aqua theme or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But no, that's my number 10.
Your number 10, pretty good.
Number 10.
All right, Grant. My number 10, my top 7, I would say, are very mixed.
Like you said that every top 10.
I know, but I mean, they are. Like, I cannot choose one as like, to me, my 10 is not my worst.
Then it's not, then you stand on business.
Go, no.
Stand on it.
This is how I think, dude. Because all my top 10 is fantastic. Right?
Oh, God.
It's going to put your top 10 to shame.
No, whatever. Disqualified because you can't make up your mind.
So, I'm going to go with my number 10 is Nier Automata.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yep. This is Keiichi Okabe's work.
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
Okabe, boy.
Whoa.
But anyway, Nier Automata was very emotional. Like emotional depth music, but it was so good, dude. Nier Automata is so good.
I like how you said that in perfect Japanese. Like you sound like you've been there for a long time.
Okabe? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I was there for 6 years, dude.
I know that.
All right. So, but yeah, action-packed gameplay, music just went good with anything. Nier Automata, fantastic score. All right, Grant, you're number 9.
Number 9, Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2.
Yes.
All right, let me pull up Nier Automata real quick. And then Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 was that classic 90s
So the thing about Street Fighter 2 is you can hear more so on the arcade than the consoles. Because you remember the theme whenever they were fighting outside. You remember the two guys fighting outside or whatever? Yeah. But you can hear the dun 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? Like you can hear that, and you can hear
this cover. Did you have this case for your Street
Fighter? Yeah, of course. Yeah,
me too.
Which I was like, man, that's cool. But but you can like hear everybody's stage music. Like to this day, I can hear E Honda's where they're in the bath or whatever, the sumo bathtub or whatever it is. I can hear
Well, I remember the music would pick up.
Yeah.
Like towards the end, when the timer starts going down.
Yeah, it starts going faster.
The music would pick up.
There's so many, man. You can hear Dalsum's theme.
Yeah.
Chun-Li. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it was like real grunt, like clanky, like real Russian.
All right, Grant.
Mm-hmm.
My number 9 is Skyrim.
Okay.
This music was fantastic. It's Jeremy Souls. It was atmospheric and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragonborn song was, of course, great. But there was another one called Svengard or something like that. Or Sovereign Guard or something like that. You didn't hear it until towards the end of the game when you go to, Valhalla to fight. But you hear it, and it's so good, dude. But yeah, the music, all the atmospheric music through this game was awesome. Skyrim, my number, what was it, 9, right? Yeah, 9. All right, you're number 8, Grant.
Number 8, Final Fantasy VI.
Final Fantasy VI.
From the beginning of
pull these images up.
God.
When I'm talking, they're Skyrim.
Nobody cares.
They're Skyrim, Grant.
Move on. We've already moved on.
What did you say?
I said move. Come on, move on.
Final Fantasy 6.
Move Final Fantasy 6.
I don't have Final Fantasy 6 in here.
Okay, well we'll just act like it's
I'm
there.
just playing. I got it.
There we go. Final Fantasy 6. From the beginning of this game to the end of this game, had some of the greatest music. My favorite theme is Realm's theme, the Velt from Gao.
Obviously, his final music.
Yeah, his final music. I'm trying to think. My favorite is probably what is his name? I can't think of it. Setzer.
Yeah, that's good.
His theme. And but man, it's just like they had really good music for every emotion during the game.
Yeah,
from the beginning to the end. Great game, great music.
Fantastic game.
Oh yeah.
All right, Grant. My number 8, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Another Koji Kondo masterpiece. Do you know who that is? I mean, he did a lot of the Zeldas. He's very famous,
dude.
But
dude, I speak fluent Japanese.
No,
you know I know who that is. You know I know.
Who that is. You know who that is.
Look at my face. You can tell I know who that is. Look at it.
But Kondo, masterpiece. He was I mean, that game was. I mean, first off, the game's one of the best games ever made, right?
Yeah, it is.
At least one of them, right?
Shadow says Final Fantasy 6 has an epic soundtrack. It does.
Yes, it does. But this was one of the best games ever made and had one of the greatest scores ever made in the game.
It got really good.
Iconic.
Yeah, it got better once you got the ocarina. The Song of Time is probably the most iconic song from there.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. All right, Grant. Your number, what is it, 7?
7. I'm gonna let you catch up though. Are you good, buddy?
Yeah, I got it up right.
Okay. My number 7 is the original Legend of Zelda.
The NES version.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's the song that started the whole Zelda franchise off from the very as soon as the game opens.
Yeah, man, that classic 8-bit.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And you know the whenever time you go to a level, the themes from that and stuff like that. But but level 9, that was tight. You know what I mean? When they changed it up.
Yeah.
And
did you ever beat this when you were a kid?
Of course.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? I'm a loser?
You want me to answer that?
No.
Do you?
I do not. No, don't hurt my feelings.
All right. Grant.
Yes.
What number are we on? 7, 6, 7?
We're on 7. Keep up, huh?
7?
Aren't you the leader of this segment? Keep up.
Am I?
Be professional.
Am I the leader?
Be professional.
All right. My number 7, Grant, is Doom 2016.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say like Doom, like the knockoff Metallica, because that would have been a good. That'd have been a good choice too. The old Dooms from the knockoff Metallica.
Yeah, but
music.
dude, 2000 the new Dooms are so good.
Yeah, no, it's good. You're right.
As soon as you start hitting it, and you those portals start opening up, all those demons, and that metal music starts hitting, dude. Doom is like perfect.
That's good.
Even Internal, I'd say Internal also. I think both of them put together.
It fits that game perfectly.
Yeah. So Doom and Doom Internal are my number 7. Let me pull up an image real quick. There we go. Man, I love Doom, dude. Everything goes so hard with these games, man.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I can't wait till Dark Ages comes out?
That's gonna be good. It's gonna be different too.
I think it's called Dark Age, right? Yeah. Those are gonna be really good. All right, Grant. You're number 6.
Number 6. Halo.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
The intro music, I mean, the start screen is probably the most talked about thing. I mean, everybody tries to do
something's important is happening when that da 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 da, that beat starts going. Yeah. I was dude.
I mean, I was doing it for you earlier, and you're like, "Man, God, I feel like I'm in the game. I feel like I'm playing."
No, the first one you were doing earlier wasn't anything. It wasn't anything part of the game. It
sounded just like the game. You thought
it did not. I don't know what you were saying earlier.
You thought I was playing.
You're like, you're humming something, but it was not Halo.
You're like, I heard you. You commented on me.
It was nothing. It was not Halo, dude.
You sound like
finally you hit it. Like you hit it later. I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, but you said, Grant, you sound like a choir of Gregorian monks.
Never said that.
What you said.
Okay, Grant. My number 6 is also Halo.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll keep that up. Yeah, Halo is classic. Great soundtracks for majority of the games, I would say. All right, Grant, you're number 5.
My number 5.
Number 5.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Damn. Look at you.
That's your number 5 too?
That's my number 5 too.
All right, we'll talk about it together. The most iconic. So Castlevania has
Castlevania in general.
Yeah, has some of the most legendary music for all their games. The most iconic song from Castlevania is called "Bloody Tears." That's the one that made it into the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that is in every Castlevania. That's the one with the pipe organ at the beginning, and it gets real fast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes that whole. I don't know how to describe it. Like the whole dark, castle-y feel. Like I really don't know how to.
It just makes sense in the setting.
Yeah. Like because especially in Castlevania Symphony of the Night,
it feels like
But when
Dracula
you would go to
music, you know,
like when you would go to different stages, like when you went to like the cathedral, like they had the different music, like the cathedral music for that. Yeah, it just was perfect, man. It was really good.
But man, those old 16-bit, 8-bit music, dude, those were fantastic.
It was good, man.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, mine was also Castlevania Symphony of Night, or just Castlevanias in general, really. 1997, man. I can't believe that's.
God, man. If we can go back, I wish we can go back to
7 years ago this game came out.
We had a time machine. Life was so much better. No bills, no worries.
This game was shit back then.
I know, dude. This is when I can actually like stay up all night and play it.
Yeah. All right. Your number 4, Grant.
My number 4 from Capcom. Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2. This right here, of course, everybody knows that first of all, from the beginning music, dun, 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 that one. And then you have like the stage music, but everybody's stage music had type music. But the most iconic music from this is Dr. Wily's stage. It's actually in our intro. That's how iconic it is.
Yep.
Mega Man 2.
Yep. Part of our intro music. It's fitting. All right, Grant. My number 4. I'm going with the OG, the classics. Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
All of them. I mean, that's anyone hears a Super Mario tune, they know exactly what it is.
Yep. That's
you
true.
Hear the tune, you know exactly what it is.
Yep.
So Super Mario Brothers, dude, is my number 4.
Okay.
Let me pull it out real quick. All right, Grant, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Super Mario Brothers. So just leave it up.
Bam.
Yes. So from the open, so this is the most iconic Nintendo song probably ever.
Yes.
I mean, anytime, it doesn't matter.
It's the most iconic video game song.
Well, yes,
just
exactly.
about.
But this is the dun 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 is the most. It doesn't matter if you know anybody who doesn't even play video games knows that song, knows who it belongs to, regardless.
I would argue that it's one of the most iconic tunes in the world, ever.
I agree with that. The thing about this is, it's probably not. It's not the most iconic. It's the most iconic. Like if you were to say which one's the most iconic, this would easily be number 1. But it's not the best. It's not the best front to back, but it's the most iconic.
Yes,
so that's my number 3.
Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with this. You can put this anywhere. Yeah. I'd agree with you. All right, Grant, we're starting to get into good stuff.
We probably have. I guarantee we have the same number 2 and 1.
You don't have one of mine.
Probably not.
No, you don't have one of mine because you didn't play this game.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but my number 3 is Chrono Trigger.
What an idiot.
Chrono Trigger by Mitsuda Uematsu and Matsueda. Dude, the timeless quality of this soundtrack is great. It's still one of the best soundtracks ever in the game. I love Chrono Trigger. And I hope when they eventually get around to do the HD 2D remaster, they will convert this over to the game, and maybe, they'll probably update it a little bit, but this game and the music is iconic and still to date one of the best games ever made.
Correct.
And I think I'd say, out of the classics, it has one of the best soundtracks.
Yep.
All right, Grant, you're number 2.
My number 2, Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII.
The original Final Fantasy VII. And the only reason why I say that is because I haven't heard what they're going to do at the final battle of Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm.
Now that right there, that you can go ahead and leave that up because that's my number 1. So anyway, so Final Fantasy VII, the music was great. It had all the music, everything is good. But when you got to that boss fight, when you got to that end fight, and that choir started singing, never heard anything like that before.
We'll get to that.
That is, to me, first of all, that's my favorite boss fight theme out of every game.
Yep.
But Final Fantasy VII, the whole soundtrack, front to back, fantastic.
You didn't give that justice, dude. I'll take care of it when I get to
my. Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
I'll take care of it, Grant.
And I'll take care of your number 3 because you didn't give it justice at all.
Oh yeah, I did. Because I'm going to tell you right now what's better than that.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, my number 2, Grant, is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Yes, it has a fantastic soundtrack. It
is good.
It is one of the best game soundtracks ever.
That is good.
Besides my number 1, but it has one of the best game soundtracks. When you walk into a village and you hear them playing at those guitars and stuff like that, or whatever they are, like, it is so atmospheric. This entire game, all the music. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is still today not only one of the best games ever made, but it also has one of the best soundtracks ever made.
Yeah, it's good. It really is good.
Yeah. So let me pull that up real quick. Witcher 3. Golly, this game is just awesome. I hope the new one is good. I hope it is good, dude. I don't know how I feel about not playing as Geralt, but hopefully it'll do it justice.
It's like I told somebody, like, I don't like the fact that, here's the thing is like, they came out and they said the lore, well, it's kind of changed. Like, they said that women can't be witchers, or they don't take to it well, or whatever, you know? And then, so that was their lore, right? So now they have a female witcher, they're going to try to loop her. They're going to, I mean, they have to, they're going to find all the loopholes they can to make it fit. So what they should have done, this is why I hate lore. I hate lore like that, because if that gives you, because now you have to bend your rules to make it fit what you're trying to do.
Well, they do it all the time in modern day IPs.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Modern day, your old IPs, but then when they come into modern day, they bend them for certain.
Exactly, that's why I don't like it.
Make those 1% of people happy.
Yeah. So
they did it with the Warhammer 40K in the 10th edition.
Yeah. So what they should have done is either not say that about women, or say women can be witchers. That's what they should have did.
What they're going to play at is Ciri's powers went away. She is not a normal, she's not a normal female. She's basically a goddess, dude.
And you know what they'll do?
They're going to play together that, the reason she doesn't have her powers anymore due to the fact she did the Trial of the Grasses.
You know what's going to happen, though? And they're going to be like, oh, my God.
Powers went away when she did become a witcher.
They're going to be like this. And they're going to say this. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, I know.
That's what that makes so much sense.
Yeah. And she isn't like a normal female in that world.
They'll
you know what I mean? Like, she is literally a goddess, almost just about.
They'll be like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. All right. Grant. All right. So that was my number 3. You did your number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just do your number 2?
No, you just did your number 2.
Did I?
This was your number 2.
My number 2, right?
Speaking of number 2, your list is number 2. So,
all right, Grant. What is your number 1?
My number 1 is Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
So let me brush this off as the Chrono Trigger extraordinaire over here. For the beginning that bell rings, the Lean's bell rings, the Millennium Fair music plays. Once your mother wakes you up,
hear those seagulls.
You get your little allowance money, your little 50 gil or whatever it is. You go to the fair, and that music hits. Fantastic. You get sucked into the portal. You get taken to 600 AD. Again, beautiful music. The forest. You're in the forest, and you go to the castle. Where it gets really good is where it gets that choir music when you go to the church.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite music from this, I got 2 of them. They're tied. Well, 3 actually. I'm sorry, I can't make up my mind. It's the City of Magic.
Okay.
Shala's theme.
Okay.
And the boss fight with Magus.
Yeah. You didn't like
That
that
is my favorite.
prehistoric rock?
No,
You didn't
I
like
hate
that?
I hate
You didn't like that beat?
That's the it's tight, but I'm saying that I just hate going back to that. That's like
You didn't like that?
no, it's just man, it's just that part's slag. Like that's my least favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, but Magus's theme is probably my second favorite boss fight music. It's epic, especially for the Super Nintendo. For the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
That's your number one, Grant. That's a good number one, but it's not the best number one.
Oh, it could be.
It's not the best one. It's not the best number one.
It could be. Depends on who you ask. Like me.
Grant.
I'll let you cook. Go ahead.
Final Fantasy VII not only is the best game ever made. I'm talking about the OG.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's not the best game. It's not only the best game ever made, but it revolutionized when it comes to symphony, that symphonic sound. You had it in 6. You had it in Chrono Trigger, of course. A little bit diluted, right? The 16-bit music.
You did what you could with it.
But this was symphony. And after Final Fantasy came out, not only did everyone want to copy their CGIs, they wanted to copy their music and how they created epic music for almost every scene in this game. Yeah. Everything you did in this game, just walking around town, everything was just fantastic music. But let me tell you, Grant, when you fought Sephiroth at the end and that one-winged angel came on and you never heard it before, dude.
Never heard it.
That was just like hair-raising. That music was hit so hard back then. And, they had different versions of it as it came through in other games like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. But that original One-Winged Angel, when you heard it for the first time ever, was fantastic. And still today, one of the coolest songs ever played in a boss fight.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And then you drop down and you fight Sephiroth the last time, and Cloud gets to unload that Omni Slash on him.
It's like the only time I ever got to use it.
His ass. Dude, that has to be the most satisfying ass whooping in video game history. When you get to the end of Final Fantasy VII, after all the things Sephiroth did, like kill Aerith and put your team through all that shit, one of the most satisfying beatdowns is when you perform that Omni Slash on him at the end. When he jumps down into black, and it's just him and Sephiroth, one-on-one. Perfect. Now, when they come to the third game of this remake trilogy, they better do this game justice. They better do it justice because they got a lot to live up to on how they're going to end this version of the multiverse time, whatever, remake and rebirth. However, they're going to do the third.
You think they're going to take out a bunch of the, like, they can't take out like Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon, can they? Like
they'll have that in there. I'm sure they'll have it in there.
Because that's a lot. They'll probably make it easy though. That's the thing. Because people like it's too hard. It's too hard.
But see, all right, this third game coming out for their remake trilogy, they gotta close the loops for all the fanfare that has led up to this through decades since Final Fantasy VII originally released, the original version. What are they going to give the fans? All right. Me personally, if this game does not end and show at the very end, like, you beat the game and towards the end, they show you those, like, what happens in the future, like say 10 years later, how they ended the original Final Fantasy VII when it shows Red 13 and there's a grass covered Midgard, right? Mm-hmm. For this game, if they do not end with my boy Cloud, like in the future, marrying Tifa and having kids, I'm upset, dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth to make a 3.
They're gonna mod it. They're gonna mod it and put Aerith. It
wasn't worth it. Let Aerith go with Zack, okay? Or just keep her dead. Whatever you want to do. Let her do her thing over there. But
they'll probably bring her back to life. They'll bring her back to life just because she had too much fanfare. Yeah. That's what they'll do.
They just need to go with the Cloud and Tifa, dude. Let that ending go. Let them get married and have kids. That's how they should end the third one.
Yeah.
Or at least one of the last cutscenes, after the credits.
That's not how it's going to happen. That's not going to happen. Tifa will die.
They should have never made 3 trilogies.
No.
They should have never brought it back. Why waste something like this when you can do a remake, dude? Why waste something like that?
That's all they needed. That's all they really needed.
They need to close the loop on Final Fantasy VII after this 3rd remake comes out. After this 3rd game, they need to close the loop and end it. We don't need any more. I mean, Final Fantasy VII really does need to end. They need to think of another great IP. Do you not agree?
No. Oh no. Yes. Like, how about Parasite Eve? Let's work on that.
I love Cloud. I think he's one of the baddest characters in the world. Tifa, one of the greatest female characters of all time. But they need to close the loop on Final Fantasy VII and be done with it. And create a new IP with great characters that we could remember as the Final Fantasy VII for these younger crowd. You know what I mean?
Final Fantasy.
Create another fantastic IP.
Final Fantasy 17. That's what we need. Let's go.
All right, Grant. That's our top 10.
That's it.
Most iconic soundtracks.
I agree. Mine was better, but yours was okay.
Nope.
Yours was decent. Was decent.
Out of the 2, Grant, I'm the gamer. The real gamer.
Yours was a little decent.
Mine was fantastic.
Yours was I would be like, yeah, that's cool. That's what I said. I said, meh. That's what I said.
All right. Grant. Damn, an hour and 21 minutes. Okay. The final segment of this podcast, so we can end it. This is going to be a long one too.
That's fine.
Buckle up, buddy. All right. We are voting members for the Real Game Awards. We are going to log in to our account on the Real Game Awards and vote on our winners for this. So it's no longer, we were ranking them to nominate. We're voting on what was nominated from our last thing. Okay, so let's pull this up. Let me share my screen. All right, let's see. Window, Chrome tab. There we go. All right, let me retweet us again, Grant. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, buddy?
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Voting now for our picks on the Real Game Awards. Live. There we go. Bam. Got it. Okay, Grant. You see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Zoom in a little bit.
I will once we go to. All right, so they got Game of the Year up there. Let's go to let's see. Let's go down. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay. Lord.
What's up?
I said it just keeps updating. I didn't know there's this many. I can't remember there's this many categories.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we start where we need to start. All right, that's number 9. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So this is where it starts. All right, so we'll go from here and go up and give our votes in real time. Let me make sure I'm logged in. Am I logged in? Yeah, I'm logged in. Okay. So the first one is for the Real Game Awards. Okay, well, before we begin, this was done up by Stuttering Craig. And so he does a Side Scrollers podcast or show on YouTube. Let me show you the board real quick. Yeah, so Stuttering Craig, D-Day Cobra, Cabrutus, and Mark the Sideboard. Those are the board. Now, they have nothing to do with picking the games. It was all done by people that paid the annual fee to be voting members. So it was voted by gamers, pretty much. They had nothing to do with the picks. Yeah. They just put it together.
So IGN and GameSpot doesn't get to put their hands on this.
NPR.
Yeah, NPR.
They were
what was it? Variety?
Yeah, the game.
Rolling Stones or whatever.
NPR was a voting member.
That's stupid, man.
Anyway, so let's go back to let's see. Updates. Here we go. All right, let's go back down.
All right.
Let's start. Okay, this is where we need to start. Voting the best action game. All right, let me scroll. Is that better, Grant?
That's good.
You see that?
Yep.
All right, so we need to see all options. So this is the first 4. You got Stellar Blade. This is best action game. Stellar Blade, Black Myth, Wukong, Space Marine 2, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and then Indiana Jones.
No, not Indiana Jones.
I heard it was pretty good though.
No, I know that. I
haven't played it though, so I can't really vote for it.
I know that, but the game came out like 2 weeks ago.
Best action game.
It's Black Myth Wukong.
It is Wukong, man. But I'm thinking, I mean, it is really the best action game. Stellar Blade was good too, but it's not as good as Wukong, I would say. Space Marine 2 was really good. Like, that was real action. Like, if you talk about action, I'm thinking Space Marine 2, honestly. Like, action. That is just my personal opinion.
No, I agree with it too.
But Wukong, you had actually great combat too, you know? It's a rough one, dude.
Final Fantasy 7.
I don't think that should be there. I mean, yeah, it is action RPG combat, you know, but I think like more enjoyable is like the other three.
Yeah.
When it comes to action, you know.
Like if it said action RPG, then yeah, okay.
Yeah. Best action game. Should we go with Wukong?
I like Wukong, man. I like it.
Man, I like Space Marine 2 though.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin. No, here's the thing. Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
You know what?
Here, I got my tobacco over here. You want me to flip that?
Oh God.
No, I'm just playing. No, we'll go Wukong. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Wukong was good. All right, so Wukong. All right, Grant.
All right.
Let's go back. All right, so let's do best. Oh, this is great. This is a good one. This is great, Grant.
Shitty ass
game of the year.
Whew.
This is gonna be a tough one. Concord. I mean, it's there. Dragon Age Belguard. You can make a case easily. Dustborn. Oh,
it's got to be Dustborn, right?
It's got to be Dustborn, right?
I mean, here's the thing.
I know Concord like failed completely, but
the thing. Yeah, no,
Dustborn was just garbage.
Here's the thing is, Dragon Age wasn't as bad as what people said. The game itself wasn't as bad.
It was just parts of it that were
terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
Suicide Squad. Yeah. I mean, it was shitty.
That's shitty too.
But Dustborn never got above 50 players, like ever. But Concord did. They did lose
$400 million,
and their studio shut down.
Firewoke Studios is no longer.
It's got to be Concord, man. I mean, just for what happened, this is the repercussions of it all. The hype that it had behind it, plus the repercussions. Like you could look at Dustborn and tell it was shitty and it was just going to fail. It's gotta be Concord.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, it has to be Concord.
It's gotta be
just
Concord.
Such a huge failure. Such a huge failure. All right, Concord.
Like I don't think Dustborn lost that much money. Like I think it was just made by because it was like a government
make any money.
But I'm just saying, like, honestly, wasn't that like government money or some shit?
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, Shadow Inc. Wukong is game of the year to me. Yeah, man, we've been saying that for so long. They got robbed. You
got to watch you say that too, otherwise you get into arguments. Well, actually, it's Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yeah, Clarith is the best.
Oh God!
All right,
people make that game weird.
All right, so we're going Concord. Shitty ass game of the year, definitely Concord.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we did that. Best action, shitty ass game. Best FPS, Grant. Let's see what the nominees are. All right, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Rogue City, and Stalker. Dude, I got to go with Stalker 2.
Yeah, it's got to be Stalker 2.
I played Stalker 2. It's a good game, dude. It's legit. It's a really good game.
I don't like Call of Duty anymore, man. I'm out of that stage.
Ever since you could be Cardi B and like
I wanted
all these
to play
crazy like characters in it. No, thank you.
Stalker 2 is a good game. I haven't played Rogue City, but I did hear it's a really good game.
Yeah, I heard it was good too. But Stalker 2 is just fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Stalker 2. Bam. Locked in.
Everybody's gonna be like, why are you yelling?
Locked in. What are you talking about?
Because you got your caps locks on. Turn your caps lock off. Have some respect here.
No. I gotta tell them the business. This is a game to pick. All right, here we go. Vote the husbando of the year. Someone put Brawley up there. Someone they nominated Brawley.
Broly's tight now. He's tight.
Yeah. All right.
Broly is tight.
All right, Grant. We got Kira Kazuma, Barrett Wallace, Broly, Ichiban Kasuga. Ichiban's funny though. He is a funny character.
Ichiban's funny. Broly is just well, I mean, we know who he is, but I mean, was only in the fighting game. The most iconic, it's got to be Barrett, man.
For this, yeah, I would say Barrett, dude. Yeah. So let's do that. Yeah, so let's go Barrett.
Now you turn them caps locked off. I said something.
Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot to caps it. There we go. All right,
you didn't hit send. Did you hit send?
Yeah, I'm about to, man. I'm just making sure. Publish. Oh, there you go. All right. Let's go back down. We got that. Oh, here we go. It's Tifa. No, you don't have a vote. It's Tifa. Eve's great, but Tifa.
It is Tifa.
It's Tifa.
Especially after I've seen those mods.
Yeah, it's Tifa. This is a quick one. Waifu of the year. Quick. Easy. Tifa. Okay. Let's do... We got that one. Oh, best MMO. Here we go.
I wonder if Ultima Online made it. It did not. Guild Wars 2 made it? Oh my God.
Guild Wars 2 is not bad, dude.
It's not Ultima Online Outlands. Nope.
It's not bad.
Nope.
Damn, they even put RuneScape before Ultima.
I know that game's over.
We got Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, RuneScape. I'm going to say between 14 and World of Warcraft, man.
Yeah. Nope. It's World of Warcraft because making me have to slug through those quests and
plus Dawn Trail isn't that good. I'm not sure how the War Within is right now, but I'm just going to go with the common one.
Yeah.
Let's go World of Warcraft. I think I would have picked 14 if it wasn't for Dawn Trail. They should have had a better expansion than that. All right. All right, Grant. What's next? Grant? Best fighting game. We got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Tekken 8, and Under Night In-Birth 2. I have not played Under Night. I'm not sure how good that is, but I have played the other two. I'm going... I know Tekken 8 is more established here, but for my enjoyment, I like Sparking Zero.
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball.
I'm a Dragon Ball fan, so it's kind of biased, but I think Sparking Zero to me is more fun than Tekken 8 right now.
But if Tekken 8 wins, I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't be bad. All right. So Dragon Ball. All right.
Why do you type so slow? You type God.
What are you talking about, man?
I feel like you type like this.
Oh, just point down.
Yeah.
All right. We got best fighting and best company. Here we go. From Software, Team Asobi, Saber Interactive, Shift Up. All four are really good, but I'm gonna have to go with From Software. Yeah, From Software for me. All right. Saber Interactive did Space Marine. That was really good too. All right, Grant. You with me, dude? You fall asleep?
No,
I'm not looking at you right now. You falling asleep? You looking at your phone?
No.
Huh? You got to stay engaged, dude. This is serious.
I'm looking directly in your face, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, Grant.
Yeah. Scroll up.
Let's see. Best third-person shooter.
Helldivers 2.
Load up. Best third-person shooter.
Man, Helldivers 2 is tight.
It is. I would say multiplayer, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they should have.
I like all those games, except for, Earth Defense Force 6 isn't bad. I played 5. I didn't play 6 yet, but those other two with Helldivers 2 are really good, man. First Ascent is great.
Don't you pull up the wheel of the wheel of answers? I need to let the wheel choose for us.
Best third-person shooter. I'll go with Helldivers 2, man.
Okay.
but it's really close to me. Space Marine 2 was just on a fucking another level. First Ascent was fun. All right, yeah, we'll go Helldivers 2. Okay.
You
cool.
hit enter.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Oh, make sure I double check your work.
All right, Grant. Best story. The Real Game Awards Best Story. All right, so we got Wukong, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Unicorn Overlord, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Why'd you say it like
Why
that?
is
Unicorn...
Metaphor not
That's
here?
what I was going to say. Why is it not on there?
Why is Metaphor not here? I thought we nominated. Did we nominate the Metaphor when we did it? Or were we still playing it?
I can't remember. I think we nominated it.
I thought we did too.
It's got to be between Wukong and Rebirth.
Yeah, it's between those two. Best story. We've heard Final Fantasy VII Rebirth story before, except it's a twist, right?
Yeah.
But we know what's going to happen. Wukong is unique. It's a different twist on Journey to the West.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been done on that level before.
I agree. I think it's Wukong.
I think it's Wukong myself.
Because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not an original game.
Yeah, it's not an original story. Okay. So Wukong. Yeah, I'm surprised Metaphor's not on there. I would say Metaphor if it was up there.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing.
All right, but anyway, so let's go back. All right, next is biggest cash grab.
Oh Lord,
this is a good subject or good topic. All right, biggest cash grab, Grant. Cash grab, Grant. Man, that's your new nickname. Okay. We got Last of Us.
Is that my new nickname?
Remastered. We got Horizon Zero Dawn remastered, and no one cares what you're saying, Grant.
What?
Star Wars Outlaws and Tekken 8 DLC.
It's probably the Tekken 8 DLC because
yeah. Although Star Wars Outlaws is expensive for an unfinished product, and Zero Dawn remastered, we didn't need a remaster of that game yet. Last of Us 2 Part 2 also did not need a remaster yet. Wait until the PS6 or something like that.
It's between Star Wars and Tekken 8.
I'm going with Outlaws.
Okay.
Because that was way too much money for an unfinished game like that. And a boring combat game, you know? I'm going with Outlaws. You agree?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. We'll publish that. Yeah, dude. Like, Star Wars Outlaws just was not ready to be released. All right, Grant. Best multiplayer experience. We got Helldivers 2, Space Marine 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Fortnite. To me, it's Helldivers 2.
Yeah, it's Helldivers 2.
For multiplayer. I mean, Space Marine 2 is also fun multiplayer, but it's not on the level of Helldivers 2. All right. Next. Now we have best value.
Okay.
This is Power World, Space Marine 2, The First Descendant, and Fortnite. Well, I mean, The First Descendant was basically free.
Yeah. Something for value.
I mean, unless you wanted to buy the microtransaction stuff, but you really didn't need to. You don't need to for that game.
I haven't played Power World.
Space Marine 2, I would say their campaign is a little bit too short, but it is an epic campaign. Power World is also free. Fortnite is technically also free, but I can't stand Fortnite, dude. I'm sorry.
I don't either. Yeah.
I can't stand it. Value, I'm going with First Descendant, dude.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because even their microtransaction strategy, like you can buy like the cores and stuff and catalyst to, get ahead faster, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to. You can find that stuff rather easily playing the game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the First Descendant. All right, let me go here. All right, publish. All right, next, Grant. Grant, you awake?
I'm awake.
You awake? You don't sound like you're awake.
What you want me to do?
You sound like you're sleeping.
What you want me to do? You want me to sound like
you sound like you're sleeping over there. It sounds
Sam
like you're
Kinison?
texting somebody.
You me some? I'm not texting anybody.
I'm just messing with you. All right, best sports game.
College football 25.
Nope. Rocket League 2K 24, and Quidditch.
Nope.
What, you don't like that Quidditch, dude?
No. Even though I've seen people play real life Quidditch.
Nah, yeah, it's college football. We've been waiting for college football for forever. All right. Grant. Let's move up. Best RPG.
Here we go.
Best RPG.
Well, it's not Dragon Quest. It's not Dragon Quest.
No, Dragon Quest 3, Metaphor, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and Unicorn Overlord.
Why they got the pictures messed up?
Why did they have it backwards? And then that's not Rebirth. That's 14. That's Final Fantasy 14, but that says Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and that's Unicorn Overlord with 5.
Wait, do you click on them? And is that how you vote? Is you click on them?
Mm-mm.
You sure? Try clicking on it.
Yeah. See, it doesn't do anything.
It does. It puts a check mark at the top.
No, it does, doesn't it?
Oh my God! Well,
we have to go all the way back now.
No, we don't. Well, you just go back afterwards and do it and fix it.
Yeah, I'll do it afterwards. All right. But why did they do this like this?
I don't know. Just put the check mark on
Unicorn Overlord, Rebirth. Well, and that's Metaphor. I'm going to say Metaphor.
That's Metaphor, but pick it.
It's already selected.
Yeah.
I'm still going to put it in the comments.
Yeah, I would too, but just in case.
Metaphor. Publish.
Somebody said, "Fix it, Craig."
Yeah, that's yeah. It's just that's 14 under 7. Anyway, whatever. All right,
it don't matter.
All right, best early access game. What?
I was keeping you in line, just making sure you're picking the right one.
Best early access game. This is the next one. All right, No Rest for the Wicked, Power World, Hades 2, and Delta Force.
You're at. This is all you because you've played these.
I know it's all me. It's all me.
It's all you for once.
No Rest for the Wicked is a fantastic early access, but it just didn't have a lot of content accessible. But it's still a great early access game. Hades 2 was probably one of the best early access releases I've ever seen. So I'm going with Hades 2. I played both. I mean, I played all these except for Delta Force. So we'll go with Hades 2. What you think?
No, I agree.
You agree?
I agree with you. Whatever you say, because I've never played any of them.
Okay. All right, we're good on that. All right, Grant. Best Nintendo IP. Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, Splatoon, and Pokemon.
It's Splatoon, dude. It's Splatoon, hands down.
Have you ever played Splatoon?
No, I never played Splatoon.
It's actually pretty fun, dude.
It's Legend of Zelda, man.
Yeah, but have you played Splatoon? I play with my daughter a lot. It's actually pretty fun.
Is it?
Yeah, was it like the best IP?
What is it, like a family type game?
You can play
like a Mario Party.
Too.
When I say family, I mean
like with paint, and then you can like dive into paint and like move through faster, and then you try to cover your color paint faster than the enemy can color in their color paint.
Okay, well, hey, sounds like a game I'd play, but I would pick Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Next Grant. All right. Best Microsoft IP.
None of them.
PlayStation 5?
Yeah, PlayStation 5
Is that
IP.
the best IP for them? All right. Come on, internet. There you go. All right.
Is that all they have to offer? Doom. For the love of God, just pick Doom. It's a sad state for Microsoft, man.
That's a sad category right
there. Dude, they need help. These guys need some help.
And that is sad. All right. Best PlayStation IP. What do you think, Grant?
Best PlayStation IP? It's probably between Astrobot and I know God of War is good too, though.
Yeah.
I didn't like the second one as much as the first one. Stellar Blade's good too.
It is. There's only one of them.
Yeah, but Astrobot, man, I mean, it's game of the year. I mean, it's a good game. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the best overall.
I think it is the best overall if you want to talk about like.
I mean, no, I'm saying of
family and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the best of what's listed.
Yeah, but it just depends on what you want to play. But I think Astrobot is for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, all those are great. Okay. All right, Grant. Best gaming journalist.
Okay. What we got?
Let's see who we got.
Are we on there?
No, we are not.
We didn't make it. We didn't make the cut this year.
All right, Madame Salvi. Endymion?
Endymion, man. I keep telling you this. For the love of God, get his name.
I just said Endymion. What are you talking about?
You said Endymion?
No, I said Endymion. All right. Kirsch or John F. Trent? I'm going to have to go with Endymion.
Endymion.
Yeah. Endymion. What is that? Y next after the I?
You don't want to be made fun of.
Yeah, that's it. What's that?
You don't want to be made fun of for spelling it wrong. Like, don't let me spell it.
I mean, I could care less. Honestly.
Don't let me spell it.
Yeah. All right. So that's good. Okay, Grants. Almost done. Biggest industry failure.
Again, it's got to be Concord.
I mean, it is Concord. It is definitely Concord. All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Worst game journalist.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to go with... Let's see. We got... Yeah, okay.
No, she made it.
Nick Landra, Alyssa Mercant. I mean, it's Alyssa, dude. At least these people still write articles.
It's between her and Paul, but we're going to have to go with her.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely it.
No, we're going to get sued. Thanks.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Next. That is best racing game.
I don't care which one you pick because I don't play racing games.
I'm going to go with Sonic, dude. Hopefully they got a Sonic racing game. What?
They got RC Pro-Am on there?
I haven't played any of those. I haven't played any. I'm not voting for that.
No, just pick one. Pick one.
What you pick one?
All right, let's play
you pick one.
Victory Heat Rally.
There you go. You picked probably the worst one.
That's right. That's right.
You picked the worst one.
I don't pick bad games. That was going to win.
No.
I just picked a game that was better than Wukong.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. All right. Worst bait and switch.
All right. So what do they mean by that? So what do they mean by that? Like
they advertised something and it wasn't what they're advertised.
Okay. So, well, here's the thing: is I'm not going to say Concord because we said that was going to be shit from the beginning.
I'm not putting Helldivers 2 there because they made up for some of their mistakes.
If they would have fell off and they wouldn't have recovered, would have been it.
But they worked on that hard. So
we knew Concord was going to be shit from the beginning, so that was not a big.
We called it, yes.
Yeah. Dragon Age said the same thing. It wasn't just that terrible. Like it wasn't really just awful. You know what I mean? So it's got to be Star Wars Outlaw, right?
Yeah, I think they overhyped this game.
Their bugs
way
were
too much,
and their bugs that they refused to fix made it.
Well, they just didn't fix it. They just got rid of stealth altogether.
Yeah,
in some missions, like it's pretty stupid. All right, commenting has been turned off. What? Whatever. Okay, let's keep going.
I got 2 more left.
Yep, almost there. Yep, these are the last 2.
Best jiggle physics. Okay. This is going to be a tough one.
Jiggle. Yeah, this is, I mean, they're all good.
So between Stellar Blade and First Descendant.
I mean, no doubt. Xenoblade Zone Zero has some good ones too, though.
It's got to be First Descendant, though, man.
It has to be the First Descendant because every character in there is just Eve, pretty much
jiggling and jumping. But Eve she is very iconic.
But they're all just as good looking as Eve, dude.
Yeah,
you know.
We sound like
and there's a lot of them.
Talking about it.
Like you literally can just take your pick of whatever your preference is, and the First Descendant has it.
Yeah,
they will definitely meet your.
Yeah, let's go with First Descendant. I agree.
Yeah. All right, so let's click on that. I got to go with the First Descendant. But Stellar Blade, I would say, is a close second.
What's that person's comment say? Let me see that. He
Stellar
says
Blade even did patches and improved physics. So did so did the First Descendant.
I think
and they already had the physics. They just did it even more.
I wonder what kind of coding goes into that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Grant. The final category is Game of the Year.
Okay, well, it's not Zelda. I'm going to go ahead and take that off.
Yeah, it's not Zelda. Okay, we'll see all options. Okay. So we'll go down. We got Astrobot, Wukong, Stellar Blade, Unicorn Overlord.
It's not Stellar Blade. It's not Unicorn.
First Descendant.
It's not
Legend of Zelda. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Space Marine 2.
So
it's really, to go with.
It's really between Astrobot and Wukong.
I'm going with Wukong, dude.
Wukong, I agree.
I'm going with Wukong.
You feel proud, don't you? Well,
Yep. All right, Grant. That is all of our. I'll go back and check all those other ones.
Please, otherwise we won't get invited.
Invited to what? Are we getting invited somewhere?
From our perfect voting.
Huh? No, man. All right, so that was it. That was a long podcast.
It's a long podcast, but you know what? We're not going to. We know. No, we have to make up because we're not going to have any podcasts next week.
Yeah, we will not have any podcasts next week, but we will have I'll do shorts and videos and stuff like that from our other content. But to recap everything we talked about Kojima today, the legend, we gave a top 10 of the, most outstanding soundtracks. Yeah, iconic video game soundtracks. What else? We talked some gaming news. We did a why we became friends through gaming, and we did a disgruntled gamer rant for Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, which was the subject.
Yuck.
All right, Grant. That's it, dude.
All right, we're going to close this out.
I mean, we're ready. We're ready to go.
All right, guys. Well, again, follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on X. Follow us on TikTok. If you want to see us go to war, follow us on TikTok because we pull the swords out there.
What's going on TikTok, dude? I mean, all I posted was I only posted one short in there recently that was like, hey,
and it was like you kicked over an ant bed.
We don't need masculine female protagonists in games, and you just make them feminine. I mean, what's wrong with that?
The first thing you got was a super long thing saying why can't they be one person said why can't they be ugly?
Such a touchy subject. You think people would agree with me?
Did you see that chick? She said, why can't they be ugly?
But I mean,
oh man, no,
I didn't say anything wrong.
You didn't say anything wrong. No, not at all.
They don't have to be masculine to be tough.
It's just like, well, why do they have to be? Why can't they be ugly? And I just told him, I said, nobody wants to look at camel vomit.
Well, then you saw a picture of who posted that. Then you understand why they posted that. All right. Let's close it with all of our stuff.
All right. I did, but I'll do it again. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. We have one. We just don't use it. Listen, the audio version of this will be up on Spotify and Apple. Are we not advertising enough? Because somebody asked us why we don't have it on Spotify.
Dude, the tweet he responded to had Apple and Spotify on there.
Like, don't get me wrong, we're not calling you out. We're just making sure we're doing our part. Like maybe there's
we are advertising, but he could have easily missed it on a tweet. But it was there. It's like we are on Apple and Spotify.
Yeah, no, I was just saying because maybe maybe we haven't been doing it right this whole time, and maybe
I mean, it's on our YouTube also.
Yeah,
it's on our Twitter links.
Yep.
So it's there.
Shadow Links, thanks for showing up, man. Stopping by, hanging out. So anyway, guys, Ed, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. You're going to be traveling.
I will. Same to you, buddy.
Be safe. Anyway, guys, Merry Christmas to y'all.
Merry
Feliz Navidad. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy whatever you celebrate. Make it happy.
All right.
All right, One-Eyed Bass, I'll see you. I will see you New Year's Eve for the return of us.
Yes.
Guys, y'all have a great holiday, for real. Have a blessed holiday. Spend time with your family. We'll see y'all week after next. Peace.
Are you going to shut up? People want to go. We want to eat.